talk a whole lot today because we're really not learning anything new. But you should have this little blue packet in front of you because remember today is the day that we're going to put all that we've learned this week, which is a lot. Put it together, practice. There's 12 more problems here. I wanted y'all to have this first so that way when I'm checking homework, you can at least have something to work on before we do the CFU. Next week we will start our applications and our solving. It is going to take us 3 days to get through all the different types, just to give you not too much material in one day because it would be kind of brutal to do that all in less days. So we're taking it kind of slow. But as you can see, that's going to be, the solving will be 2 of your 3 test topics because we'll just do solving, just already set up stuff, and then we'll do the word problems with it. But that's next week. And we will get calculators out next week, but no calculators for now. So anyways, that's the plan. So key things, I'll let you guys figure this out, or the front little thing, kind of fill it out in your words so you have an idea of what's the most important between here. But here's what I would do, throughout this, when you see this, is just to make a note, go one problem at a time, and just label what kind of problem is it. So number 1, what kind of problem is it? Division. Okay, so with division, you're going to have to do what first?
Keep, change, flip.
Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Do you need an LCD? No. So I'm not going to write LCD to the side, but all my division and multiplication is heavy on factoring. Don't do this problem yet. Listen to what I have to say, and then I'm going to let you work. Number 2, what kind of problem is number 2? Subtraction. Do you need an LCD here? Yes, because adding and subtracting, we have to have an LCD. So I'll put an S for subtraction. I'll put an LCD right here. I do want to talk about this problem, okay? Because this didn't come up. I know I talked about it in the notes, but it didn't actually happen in the notes. And I want to show you how you can do this if available, okay? So technically when we did adding and subtracting, we said step 1 was to try to factor your numerator and denominator as much as you can. Most of the ones in the notes last class, the numerators really didn't factor much at all, if at all. I know we factored denominators, but this one will. So what does 2m plus 6? How could you factor that?
2.
Take out a 2, and you have m plus 3, okay, over. How do we factor the denominator? M squared plus 6m plus 9.
You don't.
You don't?
Put it into the thing.
Never mind. You do that
M plus 3, m plus 3, okay? Or m plus 3 squared. However, I would write it as m plus 3 for right now. So here's what could happen. Remember I said this is like an if possible thing. It's not super likely that it could happen, but it can. Like in this case. Is it safe right now to simplify those out?
No, not yet.
Why not yet?
Yeah, well, sounds fine.
I don't know. I feel very strongly about it.
No,
That's okay. Okay, he says no. Anyone disagree?
well, actually, maybe because it's a factor.
I don't disagree, actually.
Okay, remember, when is it safe to cancel? When it is a fraction and everything is a product. This right here, what's happening on the top? 2 times this, and this times this. So is it okay in this singular fraction, to simplify these out?
Yes.
It is. I haven't even looked at the other side. So it is okay to, in fact, write this as 2 over m plus 3. And if you notice that, it's going to make the simplification a heck of a lot easier. Okay? So it's almost like you are allowed to simplify out fraction by fraction in step 1. If you don't do it in step 1, you really can't do it till the end. Okay? All right, on the other side, 6m minus 18. What can I do with that? 6 times m minus 3. Okay? All right, let's talk about this 9 minus m squared. Before I start factoring that, what do I not like about it right now? M's not in the front. So if I switch it, I'm going to go up here to give myself some space. That will be negative m squared plus 9. I want my variable in the front, but I also want it to be positive. So what do I do from here?
Multiply that, John.
I'm going to factor out a negative, and it becomes negative times m squared minus 9. Okay? And then how does m squared minus 9 factor? Because it is a
Square.
difference of squares. Difference of squares. Okay? So really, here's my factored form right here. Negative m plus 3, m minus 3. Are we okay with that? Sorry, I'm like working up the page, but are we okay? So in this point,
Multiply.
looking just at this this fraction, I've got a product over a product. Is it okay to simplify these?
Sure it is.
It is. So the key is you can only do it within like each fraction separately if you do it at first. Otherwise, wait till the end. Now, here's the other thing. These negatives. If you subtract something that's negative,
Oh my gosh.
it becomes positive. So I would go ahead and change to a plus problem there. Okay? So I was subtracting, this whole second fraction was negative. Even though the negative was in the denominator, doesn't really matter. You can put a negative in the top or the bottom or the front. But it was minus a negative, which we know minus a negative becomes a positive. So now, if I look at this, I have plus 6 over m plus 3. Do they already have an LCD?
Oh.
Oh my gosh. So what do you do with the numerators? Yes, Adam. What's 2 plus 6? 8 over m plus 3 is your final answer. Could you get there if you didn't simplify at the beginning? Yes. It's going to take you a lot more in your algebra of cleaning up the numerator, but this is a problem that could happen. Don't bank on it every time. It's kind of, in my opinion, I think it's kind of rare that happens at the beginning, but I need you to understand that the only time it's okay is if you are like doing that within like a fraction. First fraction over here, second fraction over here. Once you start the actual addition, subtraction, no. You can't cross out stuff till the end. Yes. Technically I could have written that my LCD was m plus 3, and it checks both of them off. But when I was able to simplify those, like in that first step, they had the same denominator, so I just worked the numerator at that point. Okay? Yes? Yeah, absolutely. And if y'all prefer to have your binomials with parentheses around them, put them. Okay? 100%. If that is easier for you to understand that that's a factor, then do it. So again, I would continue through. Go ahead real quick. I don't want you doing any work on this page, but just label. What are they? Do you need an LCD? So number 3, do we need an LCD? Because it's what kind of problem? Do we need one on number 4? No, because it's multiplication. So go ahead and do your labels there. I think there's another problem in here that you could do the simplify at the beginning thing. I worked it both ways on my answer key in case you catch that or in case you don't. Let me see if there's any. I feel like there was a place. Let me see if there's any numbers missing anywhere because that keeps happening, which is annoying. Okay, no, that's fine. Oh, wait. Number 10. Look at number 10. Everyone look at 10. Everyone look at 10. Now, this is supposed to be minus 90. I don't know why this keeps happening. I wish I had a reason. Number 10 is supposed to be minus 90. Everyone got that? Okay, otherwise you're going to be real confused. This is x squared minus 1. Okay. Checking these. Hey, look at what I'm pointing to. How do you factor that? Number 8. How do you factor 2x squared minus blah, 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 blah? Don't actually do it, but just like tell me what process you're going to have to do. Grouping. You're going to have to group. Number puzzle and group it. Okay? Speaking of parentheses and stuff on a problem like number 7, I would wrap these in parentheses, especially with that minus sign. I think you're going to have a lot of foiling there. I think we've done that problem before. What is 12? Let's take a look at 12. Let me make sure there's nothing missing. What is 12? What is 12? I don't know. What do we think? What is 12? Why is it division?
Because it's divided.
Okay. It's written as a fraction. It's division. So here's what I would do. This is the same thing, you guys, on number 12. Do not be scared. 5/4 is the top, and you're dividing it by 5 minus m minus 4 over m plus 2. So just separate it out like that. Now, it's still not really super easy. Keep, change, flip. You can't. Okay, so here's what I would do. I know what you're about to say, I think. Before you would be keeping the 5/4, and you're going to be flipping this guy. But I would do this subtraction, because that's a subtraction. So get this as one difference, then flip it. So like do this first, take care of that first, and then do the flip from there. Okay? So when you keep, change, flip, you don't flip this right now. You need to actually subtract those and get one fraction and then flip it.
Could you do the numerator too?
You will do the numerator later, but you need to clean this up first.
M minus M
Yeah,
plus-
do this problem and then write it as 5/4 divided by whatever you get when you do this problem, and then flip it. I don't know. Figure it out. You got it. You got it. Okay? You can ask me in a little bit, but I want you to try it. Struggle. Okay? All right, I'm going to come around and check homework.
I put all of it in my
And this is what we're working on. Hey, I will be checking these 12 problems. If you finish today, come show me. I will give you a check mark. Otherwise, I'm checking them next class. Okay? Do you hear that? I'm checking them next class. I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to set an alarm for myself. Maybe I'll do a timer when I figure out what time we need to start CFU, because I can't remember what time this class ends ever, and it's January, so it's fine. Okay, all right. So we'll work until 2:20. Okay, ready, set, go.